We have new developments in a bizarre attempted murder case that we first told you about last year. A young man, Jake Nolan, claims he was brainwashed by his psychiatrist so he could kill on her behalf. He is serving time in prison. Now, 5 years after the attack, the woman he claims was the mastermind, Dr. Pamela Buchbinder, is under arrest. 48 Hours correspondent Peter Van Sant has a preview of tomorrow night's report on this case.
Jake Nolan readily admits he walked into a New York City high-rise on November 12, 2012, with murder on his mind.
I planned on killing Michael Weiss.
Dr. Michael Weiss is a psychiatrist. Inside Jake's duffel bag, a knife and a large sledgehammer.
He sees the sledgehammer and charges at me, and I reached for the knife.
Jake's attorney, Roger Stavis.
This is not a whodunit. He did what he was accused of doing. But the big question was, why? I saw Jake Nolan brainwashed by Dr. Pamela Buchbinder.
Dr. Buchbinder is another psychiatrist and Jake's cousin. She and Dr. Weiss were battling over custody of their son.
They hated each other, and in turn she made me hate him.
Jake claims Dr. Buchbinder manipulated him to kill by filling his head with horror stories about her ex. And he says he was vulnerable because he suffers from bipolar and other disorders.
And she morphed me into whatever she wanted me to be.
This surveillance footage shows Dr. Buchbinder with Jake, paying for that sledgehammer the night before the attack. And after stabbing Dr. Weiss and being wounded in the struggle, Jake picked up his cell phone, took this bloody selfie, and sent it to her.
What is going through your mind when you took this picture?
That I let down Pamela.
In March of 2016, 3.5 years after the attack, Jake was found guilty of attempted murder and was sentenced to 9.5 years in prison.
I know what I did was very serious, but there is also another party that needs to take responsibility too.
And that person
It's
is?
Pamela Buchbinder.
Pamela Buchbinder, Peter Van Sant from 48 Hours.
No, she's not.
I have a
interested
simple
in speaking.
question.
No,
Why
she's
did you
not
buy that
interested.
sledgehammer?
On October 19th, almost 5 years after Michael Weiss was attacked, the law finally caught up with this Ivy League psychiatrist.
My name is Pamela, and I'm not guilty.
Eric Franz, one of Dr. Buchbinder's lawyers, says Jake acted alone.
Pamela Buchbinder is an educated psychiatrist, not Wile E. Coyote.
Dr. Pamela Buchbinder remains in Rikers Island Jail.
And Peter Van Sant is here with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
So what is this new evidence that led to the arrest of Buchbinder 5 years after?
It wasn't new evidence. It came up to the statute of limitations, and they finally decided, let's give this a shot.
So
Simple
that
as
was
that.
quite a question that you asked. Why did you buy that sledgehammer? I was very curious to hear her answer. What will be her defense at trial this time, do you think?
At trial, her attorneys said, well, you got to stay tuned. We won't tell you yet, but they can explain the sledgehammer. And they also hope to introduce a new piece of evidence, allegedly a handwritten note from Jake Nolan, that boy who's mentally ill, that says Pamela had nothing to do with this.
Will she make bail?
She's been turned down twice for bail because when she was arrested, she had her passport, her birth certificate, her child's passport, and she was staying at a friend's house in upstate New York. So prosecutors believe, because she has some wealth, that she is a flight risk.
Once again, I'm intrigued. Very good
We are
tease.
all intrigued. Peter, thank you very much. You can watch Peter's full report, The Psychiatrist and The Selfie, on 48 Hours. That is tomorrow night at 10, 9 Central, right here on CBS.